want to talk about Kelly Osbourne, right?
Yes.
Right.
So in case you didn't know, this was 2015. She went on, or she was on The View back when it was just, I think, what was it?
2000.
Whoopi Goldberg.
Rosie Perez.
I think Rosie Perez was on
At the
there.
time. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Simone, That's a Raven. Raven Simone was on there, and then it was her. And she said some stuff. She said some stuff.
She was
I'm
God.
gonna play it because I think it's important for you to hear what she said, and then we can kind of go from there.
Oh, those comments, those racist comments, do not help.
And if you kick every Latino out of this country, then who is going to be cleaning your toilet, Donald Trump?
Oh, that's no.
In the sense that,
No.
you know what I mean? Like, what I'm saying,
There's more jobs to be
in LA.
That was a comment.
This was in 2015, and
This
we
was in
turned out
2015.
terrible.
Yeah.
So she tried to play it off during that process. It was one of those things where it was like she could tell right off the bat that she had said something wrong because Rosie Perez was looking at her like, "Oh, you done fucked up." Like it was just one of those moments where everybody around her was like,
Doesn't one of them
Everybody
cut
in the
her
table
off?
actually got
One of them cuts her off and says they do more than that or something like that.
It was Rosie Perez who was like, I don't think that's a fair assessment. Latinos do, and I don't even know why they would need to say that. Like, it was just one of those things, like, trying to validate the work. We clearly don't just clean toilets. Like, that's not a thing.
Clearly.
Correct.
But I'm curious as to what you even, like, when you hear a comment like that, because we're told that only certain people make these comments. Okay, this is The View. This is a very progressive table. And for me, like I've always said the same thing. If you're looking at somebody, I don't care what your affiliation or whatever it is, you have that inside of you whether you like it or not. Okay? This is Kelly Osbourne. What are your thoughts just by hearing that terminology used? Because it's coming back, obviously, because she did an interview, I think is with the Rolling Stone.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And the Rolling Stone asked her about it. Obviously, this took place, 7 years ago, or whatever it is, eight years ago. And she's apologizing it. She says she refused to do so. She refused to apologize for the fact of being racist. She was being called a racist, which she considers she's not. And she hopes that the situation will open up a conversation about immigration and the Latin community as a whole. First of all, so I have to first ask you, do you feel like it's a racist comment just off the top of your head?
100%.
It was.
She was wilding when she said
It
that.
was.
But
Definitely.
she so believed that she was making a good comment. Yeah, the way she said it.
Yeah, because she
was
said it in
confident.
such a confident way that, at the moment she got caught. But
First
then
of
she
all,
was
there
like-
is nothing wrong with cleaning toilets. My mom is
Exactly.
a housekeeper, so like my mom's very proud of her work because she's very clean and she loves what she does. I'm like, there's nothing wrong with that, but assuming that every Latino does that is so rude. Like we can do many
It was
things.
like-
We're good at it all.
I'm baffled because I didn't see this interview back in 2015.
Mm-hmm.
Like
I
it wasn't on
honestly
my
think I saw
radar.
it live when it happened. I'm like, I literally kind of like, I think I was there. I watched The View, or either I watched the re-recording, like, afterwards. And I was like, oh my God. But at the time, they didn't make much out of it. But then my understanding was that Rosie quit or resigned. Yeah, because
Wow.
she refused to apologize to Kelly, Osbourne at that time. Because what she said just, it was just...
That was messed up.
And it's until now that she is
I won't take
speaking
the
about
apology.
it. No, I
feel like-
won't.
No.
So for me, I feel like it shows the underlying bias people have. Even though they might not think that they have it, they have it. Because why was that the first thing that came out of her mouth? She could have said so many other things.
It's in there.
That's what I'm saying. It's
And she doesn't-
underlying.
yeah.
She doesn't know that it's in there. And a lot of people are like that. They don't know that what they're saying is not right and not okay.
I always turn around and I always question it. Okay, is it racist or ignorant? Because there's two different
true.
things.
That's true.
Like, okay, so she may not be racist. Like she wholeheartedly doesn't believe
Deliberately.
that
Sure.
Latinos are beneath her or underneath.
Right.
But in this day and age, it's considered racist. Like that's what it is. We've labeled everything as racism. it's definitely an ignorant comment, because for her to just automatically assume, that means that whenever she sees a cleaning person or whatever, which is what we have an issue with in telenovelas and all kinds of stuff.
They're always cleaning
They're
ladies,
just
huh?
they're
Yeah.
they're exactly like that's her cleaning lady. That's what that came first into her mind. And so I can see where Rosie, she was trying to add context to it, like, because she could see that everybody else on the table was, you know, like, what did you just say? Like, we're on The View. And so everybody around her was like, no. Like, and she was like, no, but I mean, there was no fixing it. Like, I think, and I honestly think that this did not do her justice to do this interview on the Rolling Stone and then to have this brought back up.
I almost feel like she should have left it alone.
I
Right?
think I would have
what are you
been
talking
like,
about it?
I'm not addressing that. Like, I'm not addressing that again.
Do you think there's anybody who will take her apology now? Like, now that she did the interview with Rolling Stone, do you think people are like, okay, well, she's coming out and she's saying she's sorry, that was the worst thing she ever
I
said?
don't know.
I feel like my biggest issue with some of these comments is that certain people get a pass for them and some people don't.
Okay.
And I think in her case, she gets a pass just because she's
did.
Kelly Osbourne or whatever, and
Well,
like
ever
everything
since
just
that,
continues.
has she been working on bigger projects? I haven't seen her in years. Like,
I mean,
don't
she's never really been on bigger projects per se. I think she was on The Talk. Maybe I think I could be wrong on that. So I'm not gonna say that made or break her because she's Kelly Osbourne. So she's working on things that whether they're in front or behind the scenes. My biggest thing about it is like, can we imagine if somebody else would have made that comment?
I know, right? They would have been canceled so badly.
They would have been canceled like right off the bat.
You're like, you're out.
I mean, compared to her mom was on The
Yes,
Talk, and her mom
yes.
got fired immediately after a comment that she made.
I think it's because of the fact that at that point we've moved the tolerant line way apart. Everybody's that line has been moved. Like, you can't say certain things anymore. Or you're done.
Right now, you can't say anything because I feel like TikTok will find you, will find receipts.
Yes.
They literally, you can't do anything. Everything will be found from what you did.
I mean,
in
you gotta-
2010.
They're gonna trace you back.
You gotta
Oh,
be
yeah,
the biggest dumbass on earth if you're putting out some of the most horrendous things on TikTok. And, I mean, I just don't understand. We live in an age where
Twitter
like
too. You need to be careful what you're posting on Twitter.
Unless you're
Twitter gets
trying to
people
be,
fired
yeah.
left and right. And
unless you're trying to
LinkedIn.
be infamous, right? Like we were talking about earlier. Unless
Yeah,
you're
but you
trying
better
to
have
be the
some money
shock
to back
value.
that up. You better have some money to back that up. If you're gonna be infamous, you can't be infamously broke. Like that's one of those things. Like, you better have, like, if you're Elon Musk and you make a comment like that, you know, you can afford to lose, you know, whatever
Sure.
millions of dollars. But if you're broke Harry and like you're trying to make a statement and that's the statement, and then the next day you don't have a job, and then you don't have a house, and then like I don't know. I just but in her case, obviously she's got a whole family that can back her up on whatever she's doing. I'm surprised this came back up.
Well,
Totally.
she stepped out of the limelight for a couple years after
She
that.
had to.
Yeah.
She had to. I mean, I'm pretty sure nobody would touch her after a comment like that.
Maybe it's more of ignorance, like you said, and she needs to kind of educate herself on things you don't.
Oh, no,
say,
it's definitely
you know?
ignorant.
So
I mean,
I'm
there's
like, maybe
definitely
she needed
ignorance.
that time. I don't know, but I don't think she should have brought
And
it.
that's how she closed out the article too. You know, that's what she said. And hopefully that will serve like a better lesson to everyone.
Well, I mean, what's happening is now is that resurface. It's on the New York Post. It's on this. It's on that. So all you did was create another stir of what they consider to be a racist comment, and you're just not going to get away with it. It's almost like you brought it in again.
Well, like you said, you didn't know about it when it happened the
I
first
had
time,
no
but
idea.
now you know about it.
Now I know about it.
No, I remember it from back then. I do.
If I see Kelly Osbourne on the street, I'll be like, "Hey, do you need a cleaning?"
Hey, there's this famous TikToker. She's a cleaning lady.
Right?
She made a freaking
Oh
huge
my
business out of
God,
her cleaning services.
yes.
Now she's on the face of Scrub Daddy. So I'm like, if you're thinking that
Why
Latino,
does that
That's the
sound
one
bad?
that in Dallas. or
Scrub
something?
Daddy, the sponge to wash your dishes. Like
Yes.
she became.
She's on the
Is she
cover
the
of
one like in
Scrub
Dallas,
Daddy.
Texas or something like
Yeah,
that? I
so I'm
know
like,
which one
if you
you're
want to
talking-
judge
yes.
us for being how you know,
That's-
cleaning ladies, and you know, we can start a business from it.
She
so.
literally says like, I think on her profile and her TikTok is like, I'm not taking any more clients.
Yeah,
Like,
wow.
she's
book-
huge. She's huge.
book
So.
huge.
Oh man.
Is she the one that cleans out the houses for like hoarders?
No, but there's all these other pages like that too.
Oh,
So
okay.
that's what I'm saying. There's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah.
It's amazing. You can do so much with it. Start a TikTok, start a business,
We out
Scrub
here.
Daddy.
We out here doing scrub empowerment. Like, are you a toilet cleaner? We have empowerment classes for you. Just go to the Kelly Osbourne Empowerment. No, I'm just